Great things happen when Gui Santos plays. Great things happen when Quinten Post plays. You're damn right it does. The Golden State Warriors were repeating the same old crap for the first half of this game, except for Gui Santos, except for Quinten Post. The Golden State Warriors have young assets who can play basketball. I'm looking ahead to Saturday. That's a big one, Warriors and Lakers. But for tonight, we're celebrating a win because they don't come around often these days. And when it does happen, and especially when it's happening with some rhyme and reason attached to it, we're having a good time, folks. Let's celebrate. The Golden State Warriors are victorious. They win a game they had to win. They should have won. And maybe most importantly, they showed the world, they showed Dub Nation, they've got some damn good young pieces sitting on that bench. And let's hope Steve Kerr takes advantage of that. Let's break it all down next. Happy Thursday night, everybody. Yes, tomorrow's Friday. And yes, this is the Golden Day.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. It was a pretty crazy night.
Let's go.
In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Come on and break me off. 'Cause I get what I want and I like what I see. If you got
That's so good hearing that music. Wow, bruh. Moses Moody goes right with whip. Welcome to the Golden Days. I am your host for the evening, Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me on Threads at Dog Wild, on Twitter at Surf Journalist. At some point, I'll get active on Blue Sky, but you can start following the account there if you want. It's at Golden Days. Before we get into it, the chat's blowing up tonight. We're going to have a happy audience this fine evening. I wish that happened more often. Maybe it will. Maybe Steve Kerr will come to the realization that he's been playing the wrong players. He's got the right players just sitting on that bench right 15 feet away from him within eyesight. Who knows? But one thing I am certain of, unlike my colleagues, my friends, my close friends, Larry Krueger, Damon Bruce, who seem to continually think and allude to the fact that the Warriors are cooked for the year. I'm not buying that rhetoric for a second. When you look at the standings, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. You're going to see that the Warriors are just as in it as pretty much anyone else in the Western Conference. Folks, this season is not over. And Stephen Curry, side note, is going to be an all-star starter. We're going to talk about that as well. First and foremost, though, let's give some love to our sponsors. Up to bat right away is Underdog Fantasy. I'm still getting my bearings when it comes to playing Underdog. If you followed me from the old show, I had a sponsor who is very similar in terms of the premise, which is selecting players and whether or not they're going to hit higher or lower than certain amounts. You can even bet on a player hitting a double-double. So I've been going crazy. I've been experimenting. I publish all my picks on my social media accounts. I went big tonight. I went with an 8-player docket where I selected 8 different options. And if I had hit all that on a $10 bet, I was going to win $5,000 courtesy of Underdog Fantasy. Now, it didn't happen for a few reasons. Nikola Vucevic did not score more than, I can't even remember what the total was. I think it was like 19 points. Stephen Curry had to score over 24.5 points, I believe, and he hit 21 tonight. There were a few misses there. Again, I'm getting my bearings. I'm going to start figuring this thing out in terms of being a winner and bringing home the cash. But I'll promise you this. When the Atlanta Hawks and the Toronto Raptors were playing earlier today, I would not have given 2 shits about that game, except for the fact that Trae Young had to hit higher than 10.5 assists for me to win my play tonight. He ended up with, I think, 13 assists. So I was looking good early. And regardless, it is so fun. If you love sports and you wish you could gamble legally here in the state of California, home of the Golden State Warriors, you can with Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code GSW for a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Go check them out. Underdog Fantasy. They're an awesome client. Today's episode is also brought to you by The Good Doctor. He's in San Francisco, and he's all about making all you gentlemen out there who have thinning hair, who are bald, and if you're not happy about that, you can do something about it. Reach out to Dr. Tom Rosanelli, hair restoration specialist. All you have to do is call 415-931-9881. Again, 415-931-9881, or visit rosanelli.com. And we're going to come up with a promo. Here's what I can tell you for certain. If you call Dr. Rosanelli's office, or if you go to the website and reach out to him in some regard, and you mention the name Rick Barry, you'll get $500 off. It's that simple. And again, if you've got a head of hair that's not where it was compared to years past, if it's thinning, if you're recently divorced and you're back on that sketchy ass dating scene, if you are married and your wife's looking at your head going, I don't know about that, give Dr. Rosanelli a call. He's been around since 1986. He's got a 4.6 review figure on Yelp with over 40 reviews submitted, a perfect 5.0 on Google reviews, and he's just an all-around good dude. Again, 415-931-9881 or visit rosanelli.com. One more time, 415-931-9881 or visit rosanelli.com. At a bare minimum, gentlemen, if you're just thinking about this and you love this show, do us a favor and give him a call. Mention Rick Barry's name, a former patient of Dr. Rosanelli, and you'll get $500 off. And last but not least, BetOnline, who continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. The Warriors tonight were favored by 1.5 hosting the Chicago Bulls. And if you bet on the Warriors with BetOnline, you would have covered that bet. BetOnline, the game starts here. Folks, are you as giddy as I am? We should not be. Look, when I say we, I'm referring to folks who call themselves members of Dub Nation. And if you're as giddy as I am tonight, first of all, it's an irrational giddiness. I don't think I should be this happy over the Warriors beating a Chicago Bulls team that is on the cusp of a rebuild, that's trying to offload contracts because they want to just start over. So on one hand, you look at a win like tonight and you think to yourself, they were supposed to win this. If the Warriors are, if they're even pretending that they're contenders, they should have blown this team out. Side note, they did. The final score of this game tonight, 131-106, which is all the more remarkable when you consider the fact that the Warriors trailed at the half. The halftime score in this game was 64-63 in favor of the Bulls. We're going to talk about why that was. But in the third quarter, the Warriors outscored the Chicago Bulls 31-16, blew the thing open. They outscored them again in the fourth quarter, 37-26. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But first and foremost, if we're looking at who to give credit to for this remarkable victory where the Warriors bench dominated tonight, we're looking at either Quinten Post, who played 19 minutes, 44 seconds, and looked like a real NBA player, matched up against Nikola Vucevic. Quinten Post was 7 of 12 from the field. Maybe more importantly, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Finished this game with a career-high 20 points, added 5 rebounds, added 3 assists in 19 minutes, 44 seconds. So if you're asking yourself, what the hell is Steve Kerr been waiting for? That's a damn good question. I don't have an answer for you there, because on this program, we've been saying for weeks, maybe even a month now, what are you waiting for? Play this goddamn kid. Well, he played tonight and he delivered. Or, I don't know if he's our player of the game, though, because Gui Santos! Sorry for the yelling. That's how elated I am tonight. And again, maybe that reflects the desperation of folks like me who call themselves members of Dub Nation, reveling over this victory. Gui Santos, who should be starting with Draymond Green out. These starting lineups are absurd that Steve Kerr continues to roll out. The starting lineup tonight, and I don't know if you call this progression or not, but Dennis Schroeder, I believe for the first time since he got traded to the Golden State Warriors, was benched. Dennis Schroeder came off the bench. And this was also Brandon Podziemski's first game back after missing, I believe, 10 games. Maybe it was 12. I apologize for not knowing the exact number, due to an abdominal strain. And again, anything involving the abdomen, the groin, very serious business. You got to tread carefully there. So Brandon Podziemski comes back. So when we see Dennis Schroeder benched and not starting, best case scenario, optimistically, you might be thinking, oh, wow, okay, Gui Santos started as the Warriors' power forward tonight. No, we saw Andrew Wiggins starting at the power forward position again. We saw Buddy Hield starting. Buddy Hield should not be playing anymore for the Golden State Warriors. He's not a good basketball player, plain and simple. Everything that Sacramento Kings fans, that Indiana Pacers fans have said about this guy is true. Buddy Hield it's insane how much trust Steve Kerr has in this guy. He started, and Gary Payton II started, and it didn't produce good results. The Warriors were outscored in the first quarter of this game, 33-30, but that doesn't really tell the whole story because they were trailing, or they were getting their asses kicked early in this game. And I'm pulling up the play-by-play sheet to tell you just how bad this was at the beginning. The Golden State Warriors trailed in this game early on, 13-4. They trailed 17-5. They trailed 20-6. And they were down by that much because Gary Payton II is not an NBA player anymore. It is insane that he's still being rolled out there. He's still a good defensive player. But when you wonder why the Warriors are dead last in the NBA in layups made, I'm going to guess your memory banks, if you're watching Golden State Warriors games consistently, will immediately remember a lot of missed layups by Gary Payton II, including tonight. So GP2, I believe, was a -14 in net rating just from that first quarter. Buddy Hield, I believe, was like a -10 in net rating from that first quarter. They were a drain. They were a sieve. It's insane that they're still playing. And side note, if Steve Kerr stupidly goes with this starting lineup again in Saturday's matchup against a real team like the LA Lakers, they're going to get cooked. They were down 20-6 in this game because of that stupid starting lineup. Do not make that mistake against the LA Lakers, please. What happened in this game tonight that flipped things immediately? You saw Gui Santos step in and play some serious minutes. You saw Moses Moody having a great game. Moses Moody tonight was ghost riding the whip. And if you don't know what I mean in saying that, besides the fact that it's an awesome song from the 90s and great lyrics, Moses Moody did what Stephen Curry has become notorious for, which is dropping threes and turning around while the ball is in midair. Moses Moody did that tonight. That is a sign of the contributions he was making. Moody in this game total, I have not even read Gui Santos's numbers. I will do that in just a second. But Moses Moody tonight played 25 minutes, 13 seconds, 4 of 7 from deep. This is following last night's performance where he was 3 of 7 from deep, 6 of 10 from the field total, 16 points in this game, a team leading plus 33 in net rating. So when we're talking about this game flipping a script and the Warriors going from being down 20-6 in that first quarter to blowing the Bulls out ultimately 131-106, Moses Moody was a catalyst for all of this. He added 4 assists. He added 3 rebounds, did not have a single turnover. And oh yeah, Moses Moody also had 4 blocks in this game tonight, which reflects that 7'2" wingspan having an effect out there. So Moses Moody, Gui Santos, and Quinten Post, bravo, gentlemen. You saved this game. You gave us a reason to not be just miserable when it comes to this Golden State Warriors team. You're right, mentality. Yes, 4 blocks for Moses Moody tonight. It was a fantastic game. But I'm going to give the player of the game honors. to Gui Santos, simply because Gui, last night, I believe he was, what was he, 4 or 5 from deep, if I'm not mistaken. Gui Santos tonight, who is our Underdog Fantasy player of the game. Let me get my banner here real fast just to make this a little more legit. There we go. Use the promo code GSW, or if I had a QR code, you would click on that, but don't worry about that for tonight, to get a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Super stoked to have Underdog Fantasy sponsoring us. And Gui Santos, again, your Underdog Fantasy player of the game. His stats were awesome. This dude played 26 minutes, 49 seconds. He came off a game where he was 4 or 5 from deep. Tonight, 5 of 6 from deep, 7 of 10 from the field total, 19 points in this game. He was second on the team in net rating with a plus 31, 7 boards, added a block. No blocks, I'm sorry, but he did have a steal. But again, that 5 of 6 from deep. And even more importantly than the 3-point shots, even on nights where Gui Santos is not a 3-point threat out there, the energy he brings, the connectivity that he provides for the offense, like he knows this system. He's been sitting on that bench studying for basically 2 years, and he's delivering. I love this kid, and I really hope. And yeah, Shardal, I'll provide the link. Shardal's asking in our chat if I could post a link for people to come on the show. Hell effing yeah. Let's bring folks on the program. Shardal, that includes you. Oh, look at Wes also saying what's up in the chat. The Pacers fan from Twitter. Great to connect with you, man. Wes, side note, giving me grief a little bit because I brought up Miles Turner's name on last night's show. Look, in reality, Wes, just to make it clear, I don't think the Warriors have a chance in hell of trading for Miles Turner. His name has been linked in trade innuendo speculation for I don't know how many years. I don't know why he's always mentioning these rumors. I feel like the Pacers never make any attempts to quash those rumors. But I'm not sitting here pretending the Warriors are actually going to get Miles Turner, who, side note, will be an unrestricted free agent this summer. And look, if Steve Kerr actually plays Quinten post, the Warriors don't have a need for it. Now, whether or not we're going to see consistent minutes from Quinten post, again, that's a Steve Kerr decision. Do any of you have faith in Steve Kerr? I don't. So we'll have to see what happens there. But again, Gui Santos, one more time, our Underdog Fantasy player of the game. Bravo. Kudos to Gui Santos for having a great night. And it extends beyond just those 3. Did I put the link yet in the chat? Well, I did now. Rawls SI. Oh, actually, before I get to you, Rawls, real fast here, because someone gave a paid chat. Kev F, good evening. Happy Thursday night to you. Drops $2 in the chat to ask, or just a comment that Larry Krueger and Damon Bruce are bitter about the Warriors' success. I don't know why they would be, though. I think they're rooting for success with the Warriors as much as anyone else. Hashtag Niners. And side note, the Niners brought back Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator. Great news on that front. But yeah, I don't know, man. All I do know is that at least for tonight, the Warriors proved those guys wrong. And let's hope that the Warriors proved Larry wrong with that 38 win total for the OU that he presented at the start of the season. Let's hope they prove Damon Bruce wrong in terms of this team being irrelevant. They already proved Damon wrong by winning tonight. He said they were going to lose. So I feel you on that. Now, going back to the other chat that I had open just a moment ago, this is from Rawls SI, who asked a great question, and I'm happy to answer this and address it, which is, what would you do about the rotations when Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green come back? And again, the caveat here is that we have to include Steve Kerr in the equation, because there's a difference between what makes sense and what Steve Kerr is going to do. So what would make sense is putting GP2 and Buddy Hield at the far end of the bench and pretending that they're just not on the team, except for assistant coaches who wear uniforms. I would also add Dennis Schroeder and push him to the end. In a perfect world, you trade those pieces and you actually improve this team even more. What I would do, again, take all the minutes that those 3 are getting and add Kevon Looney to a certain extent and give those minutes to Gui Santos, give those minutes to Moses Moody, and Quinten Post. Quinten Post has to be a part of this big picture. Has to be. But we'll see Saturday. That's why I'm very intrigued and curious about Saturday night. We're all absolutely going to hear from Steve Kerr in terms of sound in just a minute. Let's go to our audience, though, who wants to join the program. And again, I don't exist without you. I can't thank all of you enough for joining this show on a regular basis. Julian, you are on the show. If you're there, I just see a black screen. How are you doing?
Hey,
there you are. Good to see you, man. What's up? How are you feeling? What's up?
I'm feeling well. How about yourself?
Doing all right, man. I'm feeling happier than I would have been if the Warriors lost again. But what's on your mind, brother? Great to see you.
I was actually very shocked to see Quinten Post finally get extended minutes.
Yes.
It seems
Agreed.
that every game the fans are just smarter than Steve Kerr. With these small ball lineups, I really don't understand GP2 and the persistence of playing him. I was saying in the preseason when we looked good, he seemed like a redundant player on the team because we had so many people that could do what he can do, but also score at a different level. And so my hope is that Steve Kerr, which is probably not going to happen, is seeing something with a taller lineups. I believe until Kuminga Green get back, I think Gui should be at that small forward spot at least.
Agreed. I wholeheartedly agree. When he first came onto the scene as the Warriors' second-round pick, and I saw him up close, and my initial impression, seeing him just like a foot away, talking to him, was this is a guy that has muscle, dude. This guy has beef on his body. He's a very strong dude. He's a perfect small ball 4 for a Steve Kerr system. That's what I see in him. I would not mind him playing the 3, but we also know how Steve Kerr looks at the game, which is very different from most other people. Once upon a time, that was a good thing. Lately, for the last few years, it has not been. But I don't see Steve Kerr playing Gui at the 3 like ever. But again, I'm happy with him at the 4, man. What do you think about at least seeing him at the 4? Better than nothing, right?
Well, I was actually debating with someone in the chat. So Gui played point guard for the Brazilian team. So I know that he might not have the foot speed, but I believe that he has a lot of guard skills that he might be able to play a big 2, especially if Steve Kerr is looking to get that ball handler. And it seems that he has a 3-point shot. What I hate about Steve Kerr, and as you can see what he's doing with Buddy Hield, these veterans he gives the longest leash to. So it seems that these young guys, they literally have to come in and be perfect in rotations. They have to go 7 of 9 from the field, grab every single rebound. They don't have the extension to shoot 40% from the field. And so, like, if you're not doing 80%, you're sitting down right away. So I wish that so we can see extended time for someone like Gui, because I don't think we have a good sense of how good of a 3-point shooter he could be in limited minutes. But it seems that his shot has improved since last time we saw him. Yeah. And
again, we if you watched the Olympics last year, or this past summer, I'm sorry, I guess it was last year, you saw him play for the Brazilian squad. Dude, the kid can play. The kid can play. There's a reason why he was given that guaranteed contract, or it was quasi-guaranteed. I love him, man. Let's just hope that, an Allen Day adds that he's known as the Brazilian Luka. People forget that Kevon Looney had a skill set at UCLA in high school of a wing, almost of a point guard. And then with under Steve Kerr, he's become a center. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? But I'm elated. Dude, we got a lot of people waiting. I want to get to everyone. Any final thoughts,
sure,
Julian, before we go to
final thoughts is that I believe that we have shown that we have some contracts that we have to get rid of just in order to open up some space for other guys. Yep. I believe those contracts are GP2, Looney, Schroeder. I think he's just kind of that in-between man expiring. And I think we're stuck with Buddy just because no one's going to take him. I will look to throw an Anderson in a deal to bring something like Zach LaVine. A lot of people are talking about Zach LaVine in the chat. So
no, Zach LaVine's not.
That's all I got to say.
I will almost guarantee Zach LaVine will not come to the Warriors, just for the simple reason that contracts is scaring the ever-living shit out of every team in the NBA. That includes the Golden State Warriors.
All right, for Zion then. For Zion, that's it.
Zach LaVine tonight, by the way, when we talk about Bulls players, did have 24 points in this game. It was a quiet 24, man. I honestly remember, I think, one bucket. He was 3 of 6 from the perimeter. The Bulls, known as a three-point shooting team, they were lighting it up. They finished this game 16 of 40 from deep tonight. That's 40%. But what really stuck out was the first half shooting for them. Excuse me, I'm looking at the box score of the first half, and the Bulls were 13 of 18 from deep in the first half. And again, that is one of many things that size helps with. My friend Brian Murphy, host of the Murph and whatever show now, it used to be Murph and Mac, on KNBR Mornings. Like, he tweeted that figure, how the Bulls were just shooting lights out in the first half. And my response to him was, what do you expect when your defense, your perimeter defense especially, is a band of hobbits, man? Like, imagine how tall are you, Julian?
6'3".
Okay, you're 6 feet. Imagine if someone like 5'6" was defending you. Would you have any problems getting a shot off?
No. You just, especially if it's the rim, yeah.
Exactly. And that's how other teams feel when they face the Warriors defensively. They see this little person and they're like, what the hell is going on here? So thankfully, in the second half, you saw those Gui Santos minutes, Moses Moody with those 4 blocks. Let's just hope this continues. Julian, I got to move on. There's a lot of people waiting. I want to give everyone time. I think I'm going to go 2 at a time here. Chardal, stay at the end. Julian, have a great night, brother. It was great to see you, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go 2 people here at once. Chardal, sit tight. We'll get to you very soon, I promise. Kai and Cam would love if something. I can't read what that is, but Cam, I recognize you. Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? And Kai, welcome.
Fired.
Cam, start it off first, and then Kyle, go to you. What were your reaction for tonight's game, man? What's on your mind, brother? Great to see you.
I loved it. I love the minutes by Post. I love the minutes by Gui. And no, I do not trust Steve Kerr in the least bit. Last game, Gui Santos did his thing in the second quarter. Steve didn't put him back in 10 minutes after in the third, and that's how we lost that big 17-point lead. Like, the stuff he does not make sense. You know?
Go ahead, sorry.
Post has not practiced scrimmage, nothing with Stephen Curry, and it's half the season. Why? It's practice. The preseason, he should have been checking Curry out with Post. He's 7'1". So that's just a straight fireable offense to me, not playing your players with everybody to see the right combinations.
I'm not going to respond to you. I'm going to let Kai respond to you because Kai loves Steve Kerr. Am I mistaken? Am I correct? Kai, how are you doing?
Yes. Good night. Do I love Steve Kerr? No. I'm not a Steve Kerr guy like that.
I apologize then. I my sincerest apologies for that. Kai, what was your reaction to tonight's game? I'm just a rational person.
What a virgin here just say about Quinten Post, I totally agree. A couple of things about Post. He has proven that he's better than the G League. He's too good for the G League. And now you bring him up, and for the first time, this is the first time he's gotten 20 minutes. The guy scores 20 points. So he shows that he is an NBA first-team player. He's not a G League player. Now, how did he look to you defensively?
Not bad. He didn't look like
I think he held his own pretty well.
He did. I agree.
Mean, a half of defense, a half of good defense is effort. And nobody can say he doesn't put effort.
Kai,
if you're 7'1" and you're going to be putting effort, you're going to be a good defender.
Kai, I will add to that and say it's not. I put that number way above half. I think if you want to be a good defender in the NBA, that effort, like the energy you're putting into it, the you actually caring, I think represents like 80 to 90% of it. Defense is not complicated, man. So much about playing defense in the NBA is the effort you're putting into it, man. And so you're right. If Quinten Post tried. He tried.
And if you're 7'1" and you're trying, you're gonna be at least a good defender. Yes, even if you're not a great defender, you're gonna be at least a good defender. Now try to picture him playing beside Draymond. Try to picture Post at the 5 and Draymond at the 4. Now you have defense.
I can picture.
Now you have defense.
I can picture it.
And my other word about
power forward and pit him at the 5. I want to see what that looked like.
Hell yeah, man. Look, Carson Taylor, gentlemen, just for 1 second here. Carson Taylor in the chat dropping $4.99. And you're absolutely right, Carson, because this is like what this is the button that gets pressed on me routinely with Kerr. Carson writes that the Warriors should have been playing Gui Santos and Quinten Post since the start of the season. Now, look, I'll push back a little bit and say maybe it was good for Quinten Post to get some time in the G League, but he's been ready for over a month. It's been a month plus he's been ready.
And that man has destroyed. He has destroyed the G League. He was dominating the G League.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And people were asking me months ago, like, what's the deal with this guy? And I reached out to Kevin Dana, the voice of the Santa Cruz Warriors, and I asked him, like, dude, is this kid ready? I trust Dana. And Dana was like, yes, all he needs is experience. And he's getting the experience. This is beautiful to watch, dude. This is definitely opening up a lot of eyes out there in terms of Warriors basketball. And I think it's also opening up positivity and maybe like hope. Like hope is back, because if Quinten Post can do this consistently, bro,
he will always be at least a threat, because even if he's not knocking down those shots, somebody has to guard him because he's a legit three-point shooter.
No, I'm going to get to Gary Garcia and Chardal here in just a second. Cam, I'm going to ask you, man, and this is a question that was posed earlier in the show, and I'd love to get the feedback from both of you. When Kuminga and Draymond Green come back, what happens? Cam, you're up first.
What we want to happen or what's going to happen? What we want to happen is
what's going to happen?
Put Kuminga in the starting lineup, send GP2, GP2, Schroeder, and Buddy Hield to the back of the lineup. I like Pods tonight. I usually not a Pods guy, but tonight I like that Pods. He did his thing. I can't complain. If you playing like that, then you should be getting the position that they had you in. But you wasn't playing nothing like that earlier in the season. So
did you see that brief moment, by the way, in this game tonight? It was a brief moment, and Kerr thankfully called the timeout fast. But there was a moment there where Schroeder, Steph, and Podziemski were all on the floor together. The Warriors it was an immediate 8-point swing. Kerr calls timeout, and thankfully put a kibosh to that. But man, it was a good thing we didn't see much of that, dude. Because
and another thing with Pods, I almost was about to get on his head because he had Steph Curry wide open and he took the three and missed it. Like that's what Kerr told him. Like now you got to get the ball to Steph in them moments. But other than that, he did do good.
Sorry, Cam, finish up.
No, Pods did good. But those other three need to sit in the back of the bench. Gui definitely and Post need minutes for sure.
When everybody comes back, Cyrus, I want to see at least for a 5-game stretch. I want to see Steph at the 1. I want to see Wiggins at the 2. I want to see Kuminga at the 3.
I
want to see Draymond at the 4. And I want to see Quinten Post at the 5.
That's my dream.
I want to see how big that lineup is. Let me say it again. Steph at the 1.
And that's going to bring space in for Wiggs and
everybody there can shoot. Steph at the 1, that's 6'3". Wiggins at the 2, that's 6'7". Kuminga at the 3, that's 6'7". Draymond at the 4, that's a big 6'4", and 6'6". I'm sorry, and Quinten Post is 7 foot at the 5, and then you have your bench. Podziemski is better than Schroeder.
That music, what you're saying, Schroeder. Kai, is music to my ears. I've been advocating this.
No, Kerr's not going to do it.
We'll see, man. I hope
where people got things wrong with Podziemski this year is, remember how good he was in preseason, and then he broke his nose and he's wearing that mask. If you've never worn a mask before, your shooting is going to be horrible. And because his shooting was horrible, his entire game got thrown off. The best thing could have happened for him was that injury that kept him out for a little bit. Let him get a restart.
And look, Amos Sist in the chat writing that we've been clamoring for like a player like Nikola Vucevic. Look, a huge reason why is because Quinten Post hasn't been playing. Like, how could anyone know what he was going to do until he showed up? None of us here, at least on this program, has been saying don't play him. I think what everyone has been wanting is some help offensively. And a stretch 5, something Stephen Curry has never had in his career, sounds damn good. And tonight showed why that sounds damn good. Cam, final thoughts, man. And Kai will go to you, and then I'm going to go to the remaining audience members. Cam, start up.
Yeah, Gui definitely needs to get his minutes, and I just want to say how insane it is and how horrible a coach has got to be not to use all the players on your roster, especially when you're going 13 deep in the beginning of the season. So hopefully the fans see this, the media stop saying just throw this season away. Like, I hate 95-7 the game now. Like, y'all really was talking crazy about Steph just giving up. Like, okay, y'all really, the ops, y'all really on Laker payroll. But I'm glad to show we got some energy and hope. as long as Kerr doesn't do stupid stuff like put GP2 at the power forward against Anthony Davis.
Great call. Kai, final thoughts.
My final thoughts is that I like what we see from the young ones, and do not trade away our young pieces. Get rid of. I mean, you can't get rid of Buddy Hield because he has a 4-year contract. Nobody's gonna take it. But get rid of Schroeder. Get rid of some of these guys. Get rid of GP2. Get rid of, as much as I love Looney. Get rid of Looney. We have Trace and we have Quinten. Those are our centers.
And worst case scenario, man, you trade Looney, you trade GP2, you can just re-sign them and bring them back next year.
Try to get Zion. Trade away some of these guys and try to get Zion.
Do something. Kai, Cam, thank you, man. We got a lot of people waiting, but thank you so much. And I really do appreciate both of you, man. Have a great night. Ryan Leong is in the house. I'm going to bring him on. Oh, no, I lost him. He's going to come on in just a second. But Gary Garcia is on the show, and so is Chardal. Gary, I'm going to start with you, sir. What is your reaction to tonight's game? Great to see you, brother.
From the Dominican Republic again, Cy, following you since the last podcast. I haven't heard it.
Thank you.
Even once after you left.
Thank you, brother.
First of all, we've been clamoring for height. We've been clamoring for youth. You said it. Hobbit ball doesn't work. We have size. We have youth. Yeah. We have strength. Being misused. Second of all, Kerr is the luckiest SOB in the world. He stumbles into things. Last year, he stumbled into putts. The team was riddled with injuries, and putts came off the bench and gave us 19 points. After that, he's golden boy. Now he has stumbled into post, stumbled into Gui, that has been warming seats in the bench. And all of a sudden, he's a genius. He's laughing. He's making jokes.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's Chardal. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Cy. It's great being on the show. I love your content. On Golden Days, I love all your videos. I love everything you do on the YouTube channel. It's really great what you do. You cover. This was a great performance by the Warriors. Great win. We took down the Bulls 131-106. Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry had a dominating performance. They combined for 38 points. Steph with 21. Andrew Wiggins with 17. Great. Both of those guys are great. I love Wiggins and Curry.
Chardal, real fast. Can you guess what I'm going to highlight as Wiggins' best contribution tonight?
What are you going to highlight?
You tell me. I guess.
I don't know.
Andrew Wiggins tonight. So the Warriors had 14 free throw attempts in this game total. A low number. The good news, they hit all 14. They made 100% of their free throws, and Andrew Wiggins had 8 free throw attempts, 4 trips to the free throw line. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Those trips to the free throw line are vitally important because it resets your defense and the opposing offense, where it forces the other team to play a half-court set, and that makes life easier for your defense. It's a huge reason why even when Kuminga was struggling from the free throw line, the fact that he's getting all those trips to the free throw line, it still helps the D, man. So Andrew Wiggins, just piggybacking off what you said, with the 17 points, added 7 rebounds tonight, and maybe most importantly, at 4 trips to the free throw line. Kudos to Andrew Wiggins. Continue on.
So the Warriors, if they want to, they have to keep the same performance. If they want to win the next 2 games, they play against the Lakers and the Jazz. If they want to win both of those games, they gotta maintain the same performance that they did today. They gotta keep it up, because if they keep it up, they're gonna win. They're gonna slaughter LA, and they're gonna slaughter Utah.
Okay, Ryan Leong is going to join us in just a second. Gary, what do you think? Chardal brought up a great point. What do you think is going to happen Saturday, man? Because that Lakers game scares me a little bit. Not because it's the Lakers, because I'm worried Steve Kerr is not going to learn a damn thing from this game tonight. I hope I'm wrong. What are your thoughts, Gary?
The problem versus the Lakers is size. We have the size. If we play the size, you say that that Post has been ready for a month. We have been needing him for a month. He's been right there all the time.
And James Baum
versus
in the chat.
Lakers is the size. Size matters.
100% Gary. And James Baum in the chat with the awesome picture from Game of Thrones saying, imagine if Kuminga, Quinten Post, Gui Santos, imagine if we'd been saying this for like 2 months. the Warriors would be in a much higher playoff position. Now, the good news is we're going to address the standings very soon. This season is far from over. Do not count out Stephen Curry, man. Do not count out Draymond Green. It's crazy to me how many people just pretend these two don't know what the hell they're doing, man. They're older. I get it. They're still two of the greatest ever, and they're still playing damn good basketball, man. So do not give up hope, please. Gary,
Curry looked happy today. Curry looked happy tonight playing.
He did.
So the Golden State Warriors are currently 22-22 right now in the standings. What do you think their standings are going to be at the end of the season in April when they get ready to go into the playoffs in April? Because in April they start getting into the playoffs, and the finals start in June. So
38. What do you think, Shardall?
I think 44 and 43.
That's not possible.
No, I'll say 30. How many games are 82 games, right?
82, yeah.
82.
So
you're awesome.
I think they're gonna win by the end of the season. I got the Warriors winning like 30 or 40 games.
Yeah, Gary, what's your prediction?
44-38 sounds doable, reachable, and in the postseason, we need code.
I'll say 46-38. I'll say 46-38.
46-36.
46-36.
You're awesome, brother. Gary,
hey,
you're the representative of the entire state. It's a territory of the Dominican.
As a Warriors fan, I'm really
country. Oh no,
it's an island.
As a Warriors fan, the Lakers really worry me a little bit because they got a lot of big men on their team. They got a LeBron, they got Hachimura, they got Reeves. I mean, they're scared. They're a dominating team, man. Like, we got to come out strong. We got to come out strong against LA. Like, if we want to slaughter the Lakers and show them that we're the dominant team right now in the Western Conference, we got to come out there and play our strong game of basketball. Because if we choke a lead or if we do if we make a blunder against the Lakers, they're probably going to beat us. So, as a Warriors fan, I think we're going to come out strong. I mean, we're going to come out strong against LA. We're going to show LeBron that, we're not scared of you. We're not terrified of LeBron, man. LeBron doesn't scare me at all. We're probably going to make LeBron James look bad.
Good. Shardall, you're fantastic. Thank you, brother.
Hey, make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. Stay updated. Next time Sai posts another live video on Golden Days, like Dazed and Confused, in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie. I love your show, man. Every time I come on here, I try and make this show as much entertaining as I can possibly make it, and I think I do my best job to make this as entertaining of a show as it is.
You're phenomenal.
And I'll see you next time. Hopefully, we can win. We can go 2 in a row next time we play LA. Shardall,
I'll see you Saturday night, right?
I'll see you Saturday night. Let's get a win for the Warriors. I got Stephen Curry dropping 54 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists for Steph Curry. I got Steph Curry dropping a triple-double, and they're going to burn the Lakers at Chase Center in San Francisco.
I got Ryan Leong waiting. I feel
okay. I'll see you on Saturday.
All right, take care. And Gary, I want to apologize sincerely for getting it wrong about the Dominican. That was my bad. I'm a geography nerd, and for me to get that wrong, I'm kicking myself. I apologize for that. The Dominican Republic, the proud nation. You are the representative, sir. How is life over there, by the way? Real fast before we go.
Oh, it's good. I'm a bilingual interpreter for a U.S.-based company, so I earn in dollars. I spend in pesos. So for me, it's good.
Good. Awesome, man. And I hope Saturday night is a fun night for all of us, brother. Come back soon, please. Thank you, man. Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate it.
Take care.
And have a good night. And we're going to bring on Ryan Leong joining us. Your face is right up to the camera right now. Here, I'll change the let's make this a little more
no, it's fine.
Zoomed out.
I was trying to read something on a screen and listen to audio.
It's all good, Ryan. Ryan Leong of NBC News Radio, a Bay Area sports rap, which I believe we're dual streaming with for tonight.
I think so.
You can follow Ryan Leong on Twitter at Ryan Leong. Great to see you, brother. Your reaction live from Chase Center. Folks, that is not a fake backdrop behind Ryan Leong, who's holding a mic stick with Bay Area sports rap on it. That is the actual Chase Center, folks. Yes, I can smell the wine and cheese all the way from here through my screen.
Here's
Ryan,
some wine. I'm opening one right now.
Great to see you. What was your reaction, Ryan, to the Warriors winning in convincing fashion after a very bad start, man? I'm not going to overlook the fact that the Warriors trailed 20-6 to start this game, largely because of yet another asinine starting lineup, but that was easily forgotten thanks to Quinten Post, Gui Santos, Moses Moody, Stephen Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and the rest of the crew. Great night. Your reaction, sir. Great to see you, brother.
Yeah, man, I tell you, the Warriors suck so bad they couldn't beat the Washington Generals. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, the Washington Generals used to be, I guess they still are the opponent for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, yeah, they're still around.
But they play another team, too, called the New York something or others. I can't remember.
Do they? There's a third team to the
there's another team. I'll look it up. There's another team they play also, but the main one is the Generals.
I did not know
the
that.
Warriors, they're sucking so bad. They had to beat anybody, and I'm glad they actually finally came, had a really decent showing, holding the Bulls to only 16 points in the third quarter. And then, when you have career nights from Quinten Post and Gui Santos, you're living life good, Yeah.
You know what's funny? On Twitter, and again, you can follow me at Surf Journalist, I posted a picture of Gui Santos. I try to repost videos, right? Like the Warriors usually post them. NBC Sports Bay Area. If the Warriors are nationally televised, you might get some cool highlights posted from like ESPN, NBA on ESPN's account or NBA on TNT. Tonight, and I called NBC Sports Bay Area out on this. I'm like, they didn't post any of Gui Santos's first 3 or 4 3-pointers. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, man? So I ended up reposting a picture of him getting a kiss on the cheek. I'm guessing from his girlfriend on the court. I don't know who the woman was. She's attractive. But anyways, the point is Gui Santos had himself a night. How was the Chase Center crowd reacting to the young guns lighting it up?
Not as good as you would think. There was a moment where Quinten Post came out of the game for a spell, and he got an applause, but it wasn't that great. I'm listening. I can listen to the Warriors radio. By the way, fans, if you ever come to Chase Center and you actually have a Walkman or some kind of portable FM radio, tune the dial to 87.9, and you can hear Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert live with no delay.
Ryan, I'm going to set the over-under on the number of people in Chase Center during a Warriors game owning a transistor radio at 1.
And that would be me, right?
That's my over-under, and I'm going to bet the under.
Me. Actually, 2, because I gave one to another reporter who covers for Chinese media, so I gave her my other radio. So there's 2 radios tuned to Tim Roy.
There you go. Well, Tim Roy's a legend. He's long overdue to come on the show. I had him on my previous incarnation. Is this? I'll bring that up. I was going to ask about his family because he's been dealing with some crap. I'll save that for off the air. So it's good. So the crowd did not appreciate the greatness of Quinten Post. Is that what you're saying?
No, they did, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. I mean, it was a little muted. I mean, I don't know if you can go back and hear it through the telecast. Like I said, he comes out. I don't remember exactly how much time was left. Maybe 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. And he gets a little bit of a break, and the applause was good, but it could have been better,
Yeah, absolutely. I've been criticizing the Chase Center crowd for a little bit now, largely because they're quiet. Okay, like they're not bringing the energy. I don't hear the passion. You see the Warriors going to other arenas, and crowds will have signs. They're fanatic, and then you go to Chase Center, and it's just quiet. It's just the energy is not there like it used to be.
Well, yeah, this is like when you charge exorbitant prices and you price out your real fans, what do you expect?
I know that's.
I mean, let's be honest. Even as good as Oracle was when it was actually known as before, even Oracle was called the Arena in Oakland.
Correct.
Those fans got priced out, man. I had a buddy. I used to work at this car dealership. I used to be in the customer service call center, and there was a guy who worked in sales. His name's Steve Meister, and Meister he had season tickets at Oracle, but the moment they moved to Chase Center, he gave them up. He couldn't afford it anymore.
Yeah. I remember back in the We Believe years in 07, 08, I had a chance to buy season tickets, and I'm forever kicking myself for not doing it. The price I think was $4,000 for a year for 2 seats. And now those same seats, and they were second deck, but they were the first row, so you would have had like leg room. Right. It's almost still like a first deck seat. And now those same seats are probably like 50,000, maybe even 100,000. Like if you want season tickets, it's absurd. It's absolutely.
I'm reading the comments here, by the way. I'm reading a guy named Kev F. He's saying it's too far since they moved to San Francisco. Actually, it's not too bad. My suggestion is if you come to San Francisco, the best way to go is when you get off BART at the Powell Street station, hop on the 15 bus, the 1-5 bus, which is faster than the T-line. The T-line's a piece of crap. Okay, they spent $1 billion for this subway line. It's hella slow. But the 15 is fixed pretty quick. It only makes a couple stops off the 4th and Market, and then you're at Chase Center.
Or you can just walk. I mean, if you get off that same,
that's a healthy walk. That's pretty.
It's what, 2 miles? I mean, it's not that bad. I don't. I did that all the time. It's good exercise. I'll leave it at that.
All right. True. I'll give.
But I hear what you're saying too. It is a walk. It'll take you about 30-40 minutes. Your duties after the game, pregame. You sometimes interview.
I always
Steve
get the pregame coach. I always get the pregame visiting coach, and I sit in on Kurt's pregame too.
Okay, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Post game, though, you primarily are doing the road team.
Correct.
What was the mood like with the Chicago Bulls after the game? Were they bummed about this? Like, what was their reaction?
They were kind of quiet. Their PR people are kind of how should I say this? Protective. So the only person we spoke to was Ayo Dosunmo. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
He's
player? Who again?
Number 11 for the Bulls.
Number 11 for the Bulls.
Ayo
Dosunmu?
Yeah, we spoke to him. He's a very good talker, actually.
Okay, all right.
So, and then I think Sam Smith, the legendary Chicago writer who now works for the Bulls, he was interviewing Nikola Vucevic. After we talked to Ayo, and that was it. I mean, basically they cleared us out of the locker room, and we didn't talk to anybody else. We didn't talk to Zach LaVine. We didn't talk to anybody else besides Josh Giddey. Yeah, it was just that guy. So
let me ask you this, man. We got a few other chats here I want to get to in just a second. For starters, Dying 1234. I don't know who Omni-Man is. I will trim the beard. I know I look like a homeless person. I get it. Part of it is it's so damn cold, man. This thing actually serves a purpose. I feel I know this sounds crazy. What is Omni-Man, Ryan? Do you have any idea?
I do not. No.
Okay. Dying 1234, will you please elaborate? Even if it's an insult, I don't care. Just tell me what that is because I'm curious. One thing one question here that is answerable right away. This is from Mentality is asking, does Quinten Post have a game limit? And the answer to that is yes. He has a 50 game limit as a two-way player. And because he did not play in so many games early in the season, I think he's fine for the rest of the stretch. Now he would not be eligible currently for a postseason spot. The Warriors don't have the cap room to give him a guaranteed contract. Ryan, at a certain point, they're going to have to do something about this. So if for no other reason to make a trade, whether or not Vucevic is still a target, I still wouldn't mind targeting him. But if Quinten Post becomes a regular piece of this rotation, then you don't necessarily need that stretch five anymore. Maybe you can target another position. But what's your take on the Quinten Post scenario? Because regardless of the 50-game thing, he will likely be eligible for all remaining regular season games. The postseason is another story. You cannot be a two-way player in the postseason. And Quinten Post, if he does become a part of this, they're going to need him in the postseason. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, come on. He had one really good game. I mean, he kind of shot the three like that one game where Manute Bol, when he played for the Sixers, shot like 6 threes, and that's what Quinten Post looked like tonight. I don't know, man. You can't judge him off one game. You got to see this kind of performance, I would say, at least another 3 or 4 times before you can really make a determination. You know what I mean?
Well, let's say for the sake of argument, 3 or 4 more games. Let's say Steve Kerr actually, for once in the last 3 years, makes rational decisions, and that includes giving Quinten Post real minutes. Let's say it works out. Let's say 2 weeks from now, Quinten Post is putting up 15 and 7. He's shooting 40% from 3. We're all ecstatic about this. Then what? What do you think happens?
Well, yeah, then I guess that, you pick up his contract. He becomes a player that stays on the roster for the rest of the season, and then he starts seeing more minutes.
But again, Ryan, they can't pick him up right now. That's my whole point. Like the Warriors, I think are like what, 300,000, or it's a really paltry figure in terms of the space they have under the cap. Now, granted, with that said, I haven't done my research on this yet. It is possible that Quinten Post prorated salary, if you guarantee his contract like really late in the season, for example, maybe they squeeze under it at that point. I don't know. I guess I got to do my own research on that there. But do you think Steve Kerr is going to keep playing him, man? Or are we going to see Buddy Hield and Gary Payton II start against the Lakers?
You're going to see Buddy Hield and Gary Payton, because you got to remember, those guys are probably quicker, and they're smaller, so they're quicker. And I just think that's what we're going to find out in 2 days, man. Less than 2 days, we'll find out.
That's excruciating, dude. It makes me so irate, brother, that like we see such good things. Like Gui Santos can play. He is proving right in front of our eyes this guy can play NBA basketball. Moses Moody can play NBA basketball. Quinten Post is actually a real 7-footer. The Warriors are playing a 7-footer. And we might and you're right. I know you said that in jest, partly at least, but you're probably right, dude. It's maddening. It really is maddening. Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's say for the sake of argument that Vucevic suddenly becomes redundant if, in fact, Quinten Post gets serious minutes with the Warriors.
Okay.
Who do you trade for? If anyone.
Maybe a 3? I don't know, right?
Is Jimmy Butler back in the mix?
Yeah, I don't think you want that guy. I really don't think you want Jimmy Butler.
Cam Johnson?
Maybe.
I think it's a whole other show. And then we have a Trav Sniper dropping Zion. But again, the problem with Zion Williams is
it's hurt all the time, doesn't he?
You'd have to trade Andrew Wiggins' contract. I don't think Wiggins is going anywhere, man. I think realistically, I got to do my research on whether or not the Warriors actually have to make a deal in order to get Quinten Post that guaranteed slot on the roster, because the Warriors right now have 14 players guaranteed. You can have up to 15. And there are no contracts that you could just wipe off the books. All the deals on the Warriors roster right now are guaranteed. Lindy Waters III, his contract is now guaranteed. So you can't just wipe those off the books anymore. So I don't know if like the prorated thing is how they're going to squeeze them in. I don't know if that's realistic. I got to do my research on this, man. We'll be back with that information on this program soon, not tonight. But it is encouraging, dude. What are you thinking about for Saturday, Ryan? Like Warriors, Lakers, Jared Vanderbilt, who always puts up big numbers against the Warriors. Huge surprise. He's making his season debut Saturday night against the Golden State Warriors. They got LeBron. They got AD. Their size constantly causes havoc. The Warriors usually cannot handle it. Are you optimistic? Is this just one random game? What are you thinking there?
I am optimistic. I mean, I think the Warriors have had their share of success against LeBron's Lakers. I mean, I just don't. This is just not a Lakers team that used to be like the Lakers of old. That's what I think. I mean, I could be wrong.
When have the Warriors ever had success against LeBron's Lakers? Because I can't remember that ever happening.
They've had some. I mean, I have to look it up between now and like I'll look up the game. I mean, I can look up the game notes, I guess.
They've had some regular season wins. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, regular season. Yes.
But the Lakers have had, ever since LeBron went to the Lakers, they have had Steph and the Warriors number, man. And that's been an absolute bane in my existence as someone who pathetically is very emotionally vested in the Golden State Warriors. It sucks. I'm very curious to see what happens there Saturday. Ryan.
Here's real quick. So there are some notes there that they list the next opponent. So the notes say that overall, well, I guess it's the Warriors, or lost one, had won 3. Current streaks versus the Lakers. So the Warriors have lost one, had won 3 before that. The last win against the Lakers was April 9th of 2024. I'm sorry, last win. The last loss was on Christmas, obviously.
All right.
At home, they've lost 1. They've lost 3 or 4 at home. So those are some of the numbers.
What do we? Do you want to hear from Warriors center Quinten Post making his attribution debut on the program? I don't think we've ever played a sound clip of Quinten Post on this show outside of maybe the day he was drafted. Ryan, you want to hear from Quinten Post?
I do.
All right. So Quinten Post is going to share a story here. This is courtesy of 95.7 The Game, the flagship radio station of the Golden State Warriors. Quinten Post, what we're going to hear is a story about him bonding with Stephen Curry. We saw these two chatting it up a little bit. We also heard from an audience member, Cam, earlier, who brought up the fact that Quinten and Stephen Curry have hardly, if ever, practiced together. So they have some chemistry building to make. But this attribution talks about Quinten and Steph bonding. Why don't we hear from Quinten Post, the star, or one of the stars of tonight's Warriors win?
11th All-Star game team. Just what have you appreciated most about being his teammate this season?
I mean, really off the court, man. On the court, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I'll share a quick story, man. We came home. This is a few months ago, so I haven't even touched the court yet. We came home from a long road trip. I was up here, and I think it was like 2:30 at night, and we were at the airport, right? And I'm trying to get an Uber to go home, but the Uber service isn't working. Everybody's kind of leaving. Are you good? I'm good. Steph walks by, and Steph's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I figured out." he's like, no, what do you mean? Like, hold on, I can get an Uber. And Steph's like, are you trying to go home? I'm like, yeah, but I got you. So at 2:30 at night, maybe 3 o'clock, I don't know, whatever. Steph's like, I got you. And he drove me home. He made a little detour. And I mean, that just shows, you know, how he is as a person. And at that point, probably out of the 50 people that were on that airport, Steph was the last person that needed to worry about if I got home, you know. But that's just the person he is. Great teammate, and then obviously everything on the court speaks for itself. So I thought that was cool to share.
What road trip?
And look, you know what's funny about that story of Quinten Post getting a ride from Stephen Curry at like 2:33 in the morning? If you know anything about Stephen Curry, it's 100% believable. That's who Steph is. Like the ego on him is this small, dude. And I think that's one of the many reasons why we love Steph so much. What's your reaction, Ryan, to that story of Quinten Post getting a ride from Stephen Curry at 2:30 in the morning?
No surprise. I mean, the only thing that surprises me a little bit is the time at which he obviously drove back at 2:30 in the morning. But he is a very likable guy. I mean, I don't know of anybody who doesn't like him just because he just is like, except I guess maybe the opposing teams fans, you know, and some opposing players aren't real big on him. But yeah, he's a very likable guy. He's always smiling. He's always looking like he's having a good time. And I think he's very infectious, his energy and how he plays. And when he's playing well and he's making all those threes, you can't help but root for the guy, you know?
Agreed. Wholeheartedly agree. And again, Quinten Post tonight, I'll read his numbers one more time just because they were damn good. Quinten Post, the Warriors backup center tonight, 19 minutes, 44 seconds of action, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc, 50% shooting from 3, 20 points, 5 rebounds on the night. Tonight, we also saw Brandon Podziemski play for the first time in, 10 games? Is that what he missed? Ryan?
So. That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so he had the abdominal strain. He missed 10 games, comes back tonight, and his shooting had been improved before he suffered the injury. His shooting was fantastic tonight. Picked up right where he left off, played 21 minutes, 14 seconds, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. And again, he shot 43.8% from deep in college, his second year, a huge reason why he was a first-round draft pick. What was your reaction to Brandon Podziemski tonight? Was it all positive? Enlighten the audience, please.
Yeah, no, of course it was positive. I mean, he didn't shoot a lot, but he did. He made 4 of 6 shots in 21 minutes and 14 seconds, 2 of 4 from distance. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like?
Agreed. I wholeheartedly agree. A lot of folks bringing up that Podziemski. He's garnered a lot of critique this year, and I think a lot of it's justified. But his critics, his haters. And I'm not saying that whoever this person is, Will V93, is a hater of Podziemski's, but this sentiment seems to be common tonight, which is that folks who are not a big Podziemski fan were pleased with his performance tonight. Again, all you got to do is make shots. It is that simple in terms of flipping the script and having people like you a lot more than usual. So he made his shots, and it worked. So kudos to Brandon Podziemski on the performance for this evening. Is there anything else we missed, Ryan? I'm trying to think if there's any topics or stats or players that.
Well, the most interesting one of all, listening to the broadcast earlier, was the fact that how many people would have predicted that Gui Santos and Quinten Post would make the same number of threes as Steph did?
Not a lot. Definitely not a lot, man. Stephen Curry, by the way, tonight playing the second of a back-to-back, not a normal occurrence for him. Given he's now experiencing minutes restrictions. He's 36, turning 37 in a month and change. Played 30 minutes, 47 seconds tonight, 8 of 19 from the field, 5 of 12 from 3, which is well over 40% shooting. What is that? 12? It is over 40%, yeah. And he scored 21 points in this game, added 7 assists, 4 rebounds, was named an all-star starter today. Very apropos, given the NBA All-Star game will be at Chase Center next month. What was the buzz that you were hearing, at least from the media section, in regards to Steph and the All-Star selection? Anything? I don't know.
Not really. I did ask Steve Kerr what he thought of it, and he gave me a kind of a quick answer. But when you think about it, here's an interesting nugget for you. The last time the Warriors had a homegrown or home player in their own All-Star game was 1967 at the Cow Palace. Because remember, the Warriors sucked ass back in 2000. Okay, they had no representation in the 2000 game, not even in the rookie game. They were that bad. Okay, the best player back then was Antoine Jameson, who's a great guy, and he's a very good sixth-man player. But back then, he was the top dog. And so the Warriors had nobody. In fact, when we give a chance, I'll look up the well, I guess that would have been what, the 99-2000 roster? I mean, that was a bad team, man. That was a real awful team. They were just they sucked. You know, they were really, really bad, man. And then it rained all.
You're right. 2000. All the young fans will never know, or maybe they will again someday soon. But for at least up until this point, the young fans will never know the misery, the torture that was Warriors basketball. And you're right. In 2000, the Warriors had the All-Star game, and they did not have a representative at all. It was a non-Warriors affair. By the way, I'm laughing hard because Mark Medina in the chat bringing up a Yellowstone joke, the TV show Yellowstone, saying that Stephen Curry should get. I don't even know if I should say this. Screw it. I'll say it. That Stephen Curry should give Steve Kerr a ride to where Rip, the character, I forgot the actor's name who plays him in Yellowstone, takes the Cowboys in terms of throwing them over that cliff. Do you know what? You understand this reference? Do you watch Yellowstone?
I don't, unfortunately, but I do want you to play something real quick when you get a minute. In the private chat, I put the link up for the famous or infamous "It's a Great Timeout" commercial. You got to play that, man.
Well, quick question: Is this will I get penalized by YouTube for playing this, or is this part of?
Why would you? I don't see why not.
Okay, perfect. So we'll play it then.
Let's play it.
So and what is this? A commercial from the 2000 All-Star game? Is that correct? Ryan, what am I playing here? Tease it.
It's a commercial featuring the Rock. Just play the commercial, dude. Seriously,
right,
don't tease it. Just play it.
Done. Okay, so this is from 2000. Ryan Leong recommended it. I will listen to him because his recommendations are good. Enjoy.
It's a great time to have a ball. It's a great way to let it go. It's great Warriors basketball. It's a great time out. It's a great time out.
And that's from the All-Star.
Man, you corny.
Yeah. That's bad. Okay, that just goes to show you what Warriors fans were getting when it came to a Warriors game back then. Okay, yeah. Mookie Blaylock.
Oh, that was corny, dude.
Donna Foyle in the little Okay,
that was
what did I tell you? Okay.
A few things in the chat as we start to wrap it up.
You trust my judgment, right? Wasn't that worth playing?
Of course I do. That was awesome. Yes,
you just got to play it.
It had to play it. You're absolutely right. Well, I like to set things up. For example, like the podcast audience. You know, I like to lead them on a little bit.
Well,
but
we can retroactively mention what happened on the podcast, right? So, like I said, we can describe it after we played it. But
yes, sir.
I just wanted to play it first, just for the shock value.
Good call on that.
Shock value is holy crap, this is really bad. Who the hell approved this in the marketing department?
Good call. I want to get to these comments real fast. Cool Breeze writing, since Quinten Post had a good game, and it's making a lot of people think that Nikola Vucevic would now be a waste for a trade. Should the Warriors focus on a player like Cam Johnson instead? And we've talked about this earlier, Ryan, but I'll bring it up again one more time. If you don't have an answer, that's no worries. Are there any names out there that are intriguing to you in terms of a Warriors trade partner? Because and look, at a bare minimum, unless the prorated thing does apply, the Warriors will likely have to make a trade in order to give Quinten Post a guaranteed contract. So is there any names out there that are titillating to you?
Again, not really, because like I said, to make a trade now or even to be talking about it is like just throwing something up in the air and just hoping that like throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks. Yeah, I really don't have anything out there. I'm not going to even speculate because I just think it's kind of a waste of time.
Well, look, if tonight's game was not an anomaly, if tonight's game actually represented a form of reality in the sense of Quinten Post, Gui Santos being legitimate NBA players who can contribute now,
yeah,
this is another option. And look, again, you're still going to have to make a trade to free up some salary space for the cap. But Kevin Knox has been killing it in Santa Cruz, and I don't think it would be the worst idea in the world to promote him. He can't be a two-way player. I don't think he's eligible. But what are your thoughts on Kevin Knox, man? Have you heard anything about him?
I haven't. I got to be honest. I really haven't followed much of the Santa Cruz Warriors. I mean, if I really want to get some more intel on them, I should be talking to Kevin Dana, who I'm friends with.
And that's who I go to, man. Yeah, I got. You know what? I'll just ask Dana what he thinks about Kevin Knox. Damian LaRoche brings up an interesting comment, which is that we cannot trust Andrew Wiggins. Agreed. But again, it looks like we're going to have to roll with him. And if there's a bright side to Wiggins, even if when he's having an off night offensively, His defense, as Carson Taylor has adamantly mentioned in the chat, is valuable. And anyways, we'll see what happens there. Last chat comment, and then we'll go to the scoreboard and call it a night. We'll go to the standings as well. Miguel in the chat saying that he's afraid Draymond Green, when he comes back, he's going to protect his ego and play, or rather steal Gui Santos and Quinten Post minutes. Look, Draymond Green, as weird as this may sound, and Ryan, please correct me or add anything to this. I've never gotten the sense that Draymond Green's ego is unhealthy. He's confident. He's very confident. He also has 4 championships to back that up. He's one of the game's greatest defenders ever, right? But I've never gotten the sense that he has an unhealthy ego, meaning I've never gotten the sense that he thinks he's special, that he thinks he's better than everyone else. I sense confidence. Maybe it's a little irrational, but I don't sense the ego where he's telling Steve Kerr and company, like, don't play these guys. Like, I'm going to play. This is someone who's constantly, praising Kuminga. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I will say this. He did actually talk to us in the media about how it's hard for him to take a step back, but he did understand that the time has come for Kuminga to step up and be the guy now. So he did say that. Yeah. So you can't say that he doesn't have an ego, because everybody has an ego. If he didn't,
I'm saying unhealthy. I don't think he has like an inflated, like he's not egomaniacal. Like he doesn't think he's,
but he's
the greatest thing since sliced bread.
He is reaching the point though in his career though where Klay Thompson was a couple years ago. He's at that point now. He's getting there where it's like, okay, you're still a productive player, but it's like you're hitting that peak where it's like you know what I mean? Your productivity on the court is really getting more and more limited.
And Miguel actually followed up his chat post with what I was going to say, which is that he meant that Steve Kerr was going to get involved and get in the way. And that is my greatest fear too. We shall see what happens with Steve Kerr and the managing of personnel. Again, a great win tonight for the Golden State Warriors, 131-106 the final, particularly staggering when you consider that they trailed 20-6 to start this game. They trailed 63-60 at the half. And that third quarter, they just blew this thing open, and the rest was history. The score of the half was 64-63. And then the Warriors took control in that third quarter, outscoring Chicago 31-16. Let's go around the association, shall we? And then we'll wrap it up after that. Looking at the rest of the scores on this Thursday evening around the association. Hold on, I got to get the music. I almost forgot to get our strip club music. All right, there we go. We're now in the club. Now on the stage, Chastity. Throw your dollar bills up there. Ryan Leong. Go check out Chastity on stage 1.
I've been to some gentlemen's clubs. I can't say this is danceable music for a stripper.
No, it's not. It's actually very generic music. That's copyright free. That's what we played. Going around the association, the San Antonio Spurs, 140-110 winners over the Indiana Pacers tonight. This was earlier in France. I'm sorry. I believe this game was played in Paris way early this morning. Victor Wembanyama, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. In the win, Victor Wembanyama is going to be the face of this league in the very near future. Benedict Mathurin, 24 points in the loss for the Indiana Pacers. Ryan, did you catch any of that, the NBA action in Paris, France?
No, I was actually just paying attention to this game. Or to be honest, actually, while I was watching this Warriors game, I do follow other sports, cover other sports. So I was kind of keeping my eye on the San Jose Sharks game too.
How are the Sharkies doing?
Nah, they keep losing, but they're entertaining. They lost 6-5 tonight.
Hey, David Roche, come right down. Hope you're enjoying Chastity on the stage. Thank you for the tips. Throw your dollars on that check. No quarters on the stage, people. Dollar bills only.
Nice.
Quarters will hurt them. Okay, thank you very much, David Roche. Moving on, the association on this Thursday night. The Portland Trailblazers, I would call this an upset. They went to Orlando and defeated the Magic 101-79 tonight. The final. I don't know who Camera is. Do you?
I do not.
Well, I got to look it up here because this individual's name is Tumani, maybe Camara. He played 34 minutes for Portland, scored 16 points, grabbed 6 boards. I've never heard of this guy until now. Tumani Camara is 24 years old. He was a second-round draft pick last year by the Phoenix Suns. And he had a great game tonight, so there you go. Orlando falls to 23-23. Wow, man, they plummeted. Portland improves to 16-28. Moving along, the Toronto Raptors defeated the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta, 122-119. Jakob Poeltl, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and the win for the Raptors. Dyson Daniels, your likely favorite for Defensive Player of the Year this season, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals in the loss. The Dallas Mavericks pulling off an upset in OKC tonight, defeating the Thunder 121-115. PJ Washington, 22 points, 19 rebounds, 3 steals in the win. Jalen Williams, 33 points, 7 assists, 4 steals in the loss. Ryan, does this game, the OKC Thunder dropping to 36-8 on the year, mean anything?
No.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's like one game, big deal.
Exactly. And again, the OKC Thunder are rolling. Still think the Warriors can beat them. The Milwaukee Bucks thumped the Miami Heat tonight in Milwaukee, 125-96. Dame Lillard, 29 points, a rebound shy of a triple-double, 9 boards, 11 assists. I've never heard of K. Ware for the Heat. The Kendall Ware, is that who that is? Have you heard of him?
It kind of rings a bell, but I gotta be honest, man. There's so many players in the association these days, and guys that are making contributions that I've not heard of previously.
Well, this is why we're all learning as we go through this. The individual's name is Kel'el Ware. He's a 7-footer. He's a rookie. He was the Miami Heat's 15th pick in the most recent draft. So that's where Kel'el Ware came from, and he played 35 minutes in the Heat's loss, 22 points, 10 rebounds. So the Warriors have Quinten.
I'll just say, with a name like that, is he a distant relative of Superman?
The name. So the Bucks improved to 25-17. The Heat dropped to 21-22. The Denver Nuggets, 132-123 winners tonight at home over the Sacramento Kings, who just a night earlier defeated the Golden State Warriors. Jokic with a massive stat line tonight, 35 points, 22 rebounds, 17 assists. What's your reaction to hearing that stat line from Jokic?
I mean, no. I mean, he's, let me check that again.
Want to hear it one more time?
Yeah.
Because it's worth repeating. It's insane. 35 points, 22 rebounds, 17 assists.
Nice. Yeah, that is crazy. To approach almost 20 assists is just phenomenal. And 19 defensive boards is
insane.
Yeah, that's pretty next level, man.
Domantas Sabonis, who was matched up against them, had 23 points, 19 rebounds, 8 assists in the loss. It's incredible that a night like that is barely even relevant by Sabonis because of Jokic. Two more games tonight. The LA Lakers, the Warriors' next opponent, Saturday night. They thumped the Boston Celtics in LA tonight, 117-96. Anthony Davis, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. Kristaps Porzingis, 22 points, 7 rebounds. For the Celtics, the Lakers improved to 24-18. Boston drops to 31-14, I believe. Yeah. And last but not least, the LA Clippers, 110-93 winners tonight at home against the Washington Wizards. James Harden, a triple-double for him, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists. Jordan Poole, 24 points, 9 assists. And when we look at the standings, the Golden State Warriors, with their win tonight, are now back to 500. They're 22-22. They're a half game behind the Phoenix Suns for the 10 seed. So if the season ended today, the Golden State Warriors would not even make the play-in, which goes to show how important this game was tonight. The Warriors trail the Kings by a game for the 9 seed. Same goes for Minnesota. They trail the Dallas Mavericks by a game and a half for the 7 seed. They trail the Lakers and the Clippers by 3 games for the 5 and 6 seed. So the Warriors are still very much in it. All they got to do is just make one run. That's it. Why did it get so dark there, by the way, man? What's going on at Chase Center? They shutting it down early tonight.
Yeah, they're working on moving. They're covering the floor. They got somebody performing tomorrow. I think a concert of some kind is going on.
Okay, who? Anyone? Do you know who?
I can't remember the name. I saw it earlier. Give me a second. I'll find out for you.
Jamie LaRoche and Golden Dazer. Thank you for the $2.99 a month to have your.
Tom Segura. Who the heck's Tom Segura? You know who he is?
Comedian.
Okay.
Stand comedian. There you go. So that's
Yeah,
what's going on the case tomorrow night. Damien LaRoche in the chat saying, if Andrew Wiggins was weed, he'd be brown weed with red hair, a.k.a. the Bama weed, a.k.a. Damien just is not enjoying Andrew Wiggins tonight, brother. I feel you. Wiggins had a good game.
I like what Miguel said about Wiggins. He goes, Wiggins is so unselfish. He plays shitty not to outshine others. That's pretty funny.
All right. Well, tomorrow, Rick Barry will be joining the program, so stay tuned for that. The Hall of Famer joins us each week. Ryan, promote away, brother. I know you got Barry's sports rap, which I think we're doing streaming with.
I think I figured out the how to stream dual stream on YouTube because our YouTube channel needs some love. So
good.
We like to I like to get famous people to do our taglines. Hey, you're watching Barry's sports rap. I got Chuck Swirsky from the Bulls. I've got Jerry Rice. I even got the governor, man. I got Gavin Newsom a year ago with me and my buddy Marco Kolovich went up there to get the red carpet interviews with the Go-Go's. The Go-Go's gave us a tagline, for Christ's sake. That's pretty cool.
I like it. I like it a lot.
We got Will Clark. We got Will Clark to do a tagline for us.
Oh,
some good people, man.
The Thrill, my favorite baseball player as a kid.
Yeah.
Even though I was an A's fan. I was conflicted as a child, Ryan. I don't know how you were, but I was an A's fan, but Will Clark was my favorite player. And who'd you root for as a kid in the Bay Area?
Oh, I liked Will Clark a lot. He was my favorite for sure.
But were you a Giants fan as well, or were you?
Yeah, I was kind of like forced to be a Giants fan because my dad, when I was a kid growing up, my dad took me to Giants games. We went to an occasional Niners game, but obviously it was mostly Giants. So my dad his teams were the Giants, the Niners, the Warriors, and he went to school at Cal. So those are the teams my dad followed. And then when I got older, I started following the A's myself in 1992 when I turned 18 years old, which was a great year because that was the year the A's actually won the division and the last good year they had for a while, right? They didn't make the playoffs again until 2000. So,
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
I
really wish that Will Clark Fleer rookie card paid off. It ended up not achieving the value.
Let's be honest. Most of those A's cards aren't going to pay off for you at all. I mean, if the last year for real good baseball cards was probably the early 70s.
Oh, really? That old?
Yeah.
Huh?
That old. Yeah. You get some baseball cards now that occasional, special makes or whatever. There's certain special editions of a Shohei Ohtani card that's probably worth like $10,000 or something like that.
I love it. Well, I hope my Kobe Bryant rookie is worth something someday. And
I hate to say it, death usually helps with something like that. You know what I mean? Especially somebody's sudden passing. Usually, I know it sounds really morbid, but it does bring up somebody's value on items.
Oh, brother. All right, brother. Well, are you going to be there Saturday? Are you joining us?
What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. From downtown. Yes. I'm doing my Marv Albert.
I love it, man. Ryan Leong, you can follow him on Twitter again at Ryan Leong. You can follow me on Threads at Dog Wild, on Twitter at Surf Journalist. The Warriors come out victorious. Let's hope Saturday night we get a heavy dose of Gui Santos, Quinten Post, and some more of these young players who are lighting it up. I don't want Buddy Hield anymore, Ryan. I don't want GP2 anymore. I want them at the end of the bench just watching and cheering. That's how they're contributing in a positive way with this Warriors team, not on the court. But anyways, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everyone. Are we done? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good, man. I'll look forward to talking to you on Saturday, man.
Same. Right back at you, brother. And tomorrow, Rick Barry's joining the program. Until then, go Dubs, baby, and have a great night. Bye-bye.